Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my next actual headphones because I already tried out the Audio-Technica R50Xs and I wasn't a big fan of them, to the point where I just returned them because I did not like how bright they were. And this is coming from somebody that daily drives an HG560S, which is on the brighter side of neutral, but I've also ran like the Sundara and I really like that. And I've also like daily driven like the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro and the Elysian Pilgrims, which are also decently bright. So again, I like bright sounding stuff. I just think the R50X was just way too much. Like, it was just really, really piercing and pretty fatiguing for a lot of songs that aren't really super bright, but especially the ones that are like already bright leaning, it's kind of unbearable. I can't really deal with it. I understand I can EQ, and EQ did help, but I mean, even then, it still kind of wasn't enough. And if I had to EQ, I would have to EQ basically the entire treble range in order to tame it a little bit, which I don't really like having to do, especially when plugging into like new sources. That's not fun having to EQ all the treble down. Like, I would rather not do that. And not only that, even though it is a comfortable headphone and it's stupidly lightweight, which I really like about it, it's also basically on ear for my ears because the ear cups are so damn small. They just could not fit around my ears, which I just don't prefer. I don't like on ear headphones all that much. And again, even though they were still comfortable, and I will give them that, again, the ear cups themselves were really, really small, so they couldn't even fit around my ears, which I do not really like because I like having a good seal with headphones. So yeah, I will admit the soundstage and the imaging is a lot better than even the HG560S. So if you can deal with the amount of treble that it's giving you, I would recommend to just go for them because they're great. And even if, you know, you don't really like them, kind of like me, you can just return them. And even if you like don't like them, but you feel like you can maybe keep them, I mean, they're 150 bucks. They're not the most expensive thing in the world. However, this is all basically me leading to what headphone I should maybe get next. And now I'm kind of back at the drawing board and trying to decide which one to get. I was thinking maybe to get the R70XA, but then I thought about it for more than 2 seconds and it doesn't really make sense because, again, I want headphones that go over my ears because I've had headphones that have done that for like, what, 4 or 5 years now? So I don't want to like go back to on ears because I just don't find them as comfortable. So I'm thinking my next headphone is probably just going to be the Aoun or On. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'll just say Aoun because I think everybody else pronounces it that way. The Aoun AR5000 because I've heard it's pretty similar in tonality to the HD560S, if not a little bit recessed in the treble, which I actually might appreciate, so it's less fatiguing just over time. Even though I don't really find these that fatiguing, I still kind of want a little bit of darker treble, maybe for some tracks. Again, especially like the brighter ones. It's nice to just have a little more recessed treble, even though that does, you know, take away the illusion of detail and all that, which kind of sucks because I do really like details in my music as well. But again, I don't know. It's kind of a trade-off, but I still would, I think, wear the Aoun for a longer period of time because they aren't as bright. But not only that, they're also planar magnetics, which I really like. I mean, the only big reason why I switched off from the Sundaras in the first place is because they just kind of developed a channel imbalance issue over time, which sucks, and is the reason why I'm not going back to HiFiMAN, at least for a while, until they fix their quality control, because I've heard even though they're really, really expensive headphones, they are still really shit in terms of QC, so I don't really want to go for them, and I really are no issues when it comes to QC for the AR5000, so that's even more of a reason for me to just go for it. And I've heard that they're also pretty mid-focused, which I appreciate, and I actually probably prefer over more like bass and more treble. I do like mids a lot, so I think they're honestly probably a perfect fit for me, and I definitely will buy them, even though they are a lot more expensive than the R50X. I think they will be worth it, especially, you know, because they're not as bright, and I can actually deal with them for long periods of time, most likely, unlike the R50X, which I just could not really wear for a long period of time because of how damn spicy and hot the treble was and how fatiguing it was for my ears. So, yeah, that is basically it. And I will give my first impressions on the Aoun AR5000 when I get it. But again, I have really high hopes for this headphone. I've heard also the sound staging. Well, it's not like the best ever. I've heard this imaging is actually really really good, and is a really good gaming headphone, which is good. So yeah, that is basically going to be it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.